The book of John, chapter 18. Jesus is arrested. How does this happen? Jesus crosses the Kidron Valley and enters a garden often associated with Gethsemane. Judas arrives with soldiers and officials. Jesus steps forward first and asks, "Who is it you want?" When he says, "I am he," the soldiers fall backward. What does the arrest scene mean? The words, "I am," echo God's divine name, showing Jesus' authority. Even the arresting force is momentarily overwhelmed by his presence. Jesus ensures his disciples despair by saying, "Let these men go." Peter cuts off the ear of the high priest's servant. Jesus stops him and says he must drink the cup the Father has given. The lesson we learn is that Jesus rejects violence and accepts suffering willingly. The kingdom of God is not advanced by force. Jesus is then brought before the Jewish authorities and is questioned by Annas. Jesus is interrogated about his teaching. He points out that everything he taught was public. An officer strikes Jesus. He responds calmly, not defensively. Peter denies knowing Jesus 3 times. 1, to a servant girl. 2, to others in the courtyard. 3, after being pressed again. The rooster crows, just as Jesus predicted. Peter's confidence collapses under pressure. Jesus stands firm while his closest follower fails. Human strength fails, but Jesus' faithfulness does not. Failure is not the end. Restoration will come later. Jesus appears before Pilate. The political irony is that Jewish leaders avoid entering Pilate's residence to stay ceremonially clean, yet they are plotting an execution. This highlights religious hypocrisy. Pilate asks, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus explains that 1, his kingdom is not of this world. 2, if it were, his followers would fight. Jesus says, "Everyone on the side of truth listens to me." Pilate responds, "What is truth?" Pilate finds no guilt in Jesus. The lesson here is that earthly power struggles cannot grasp spiritual truth. Jesus' kingdom is based on truth, not force. Pilate offers to release one prisoner. The crowd chooses Barabbas, a violent rebel. Jesus, innocent, is rejected. The symbolism is that a guilty man is freed and an innocent man is condemned. This moment visually represents substitution. One life spared while another takes the punishment.